I'm out here because I lost my son. He passed away and I ended up homeless because I used to take care of him. That paid our bills and everything. So,
How long have you been out here?
10 years now. Not here particularly, but 10 years.
And I mean, how has it been? I mean, the city's response to you and your situation.
How do they respond? They don't. They don't. We're just here. And like I said, everybody has their reasons why they're here. Some not so good, some good, and whatever reason, but we're all out here. I don't know, it gets tiring sometimes. I wish I could get up in the morning and have my bathroom and everything there and take my shower and have my clothes hanging up in the closet. I came from a 3-bedroom house, front yard, big old front yard, backyard, and 2 bathrooms and two homeless.
And what was the situation? Just the economy?
The death of my son. Because he was ill, so I used to take care of him, and they paid me, and they paid him. He got his Social Security. So with that, we made it. We paid our rent, we took care of business, and once he passed away, well, I ended up with nothing at the end of it all. I ended up out here. I slept in my van for a while, but now I don't even have a van no more. So.
And were you here when the city was doing a lot of the sweeps?
Oh yeah.
How was that?
Well, you gotta pack everything up and you gotta move it, or anything behind, they end up throwing it out or taking it. They end up taking it. So you either gotta take everything, pack it up the night before, be ready, or just lose everything. And that's not too good because they say that you can go claim it, but nobody really ever does go claim it. Everything gets lost. So you gotta restart again and start from the bottom up again and then build your stuff again. Sweeps are good, I guess, but not the ones involved in it. We try to keep the park as clean as we can. I don't see really that much of a mess out here. But we have to be somewhere, unless the city can tell us where we can go and put our tents up. They don't have a place for us, so this is where we're at.
And I mean, how does if you had the magic wand, what services would you provide for you and your community members as well?
The main thing is people don't have money out here for any kind of homes. Okay, the only thing if they could build some kind of projects or something for us, but that's not going to happen. Because everybody has to pay rent. That's just the way it is. But out here in the park, maybe they could make somewhere where there was at least some bathrooms close by or some facilities for take showers at least, something. But out here, you're here and you're on your own mercy because at the end of the night, the bathrooms get closed. You have one out here that's just one, and you don't really want to go in that one, So it's just hard. And like I said, everybody has the reasons for being out here. Mine was the death of my son, which provided, my income and taking care of him. But I'm sure everybody else just as extreme as mine, I guess.
Anything else you like that?
It's just that it's a day-by-day thing here. You can't really count on anything for tomorrow or make plans because you don't know what's going to happen. Or maybe you do, it's just the same thing like every day, Not knowing, what's going to happen with one person or another, or more people coming in and you don't know them and you don't know what's going to happen, any situations they can bring or whatever. So, but mainly everybody gets along here. We all get along. Or we try to.
And everybody, I'm sorry, your name and your age?
And I'm 65.
So you mentioned a little bit about that. Do you feel safe here?
I feel safe, yeah. I feel safe enough because everybody pretty much takes care of each other. And we never go hungry for one thing, we manage to always have food without any money. I don't know how we manage that one sometimes, but we do.
Well, there's a lot of heart here. I mean, as the way it's flowed, because you've been here when there's been hardly anybody, and now it's like a huge amount of people. How do you feel that transition for the last couple of years, at least?
Well, it's probably easier when it was less people here, because you have all kinds of problems to arise, and they'll take care of them mainly, but you just don't want to be hearing them. And I ended up homeless with my dogs. Well, one left, my Brenda, and but it's you try to keep as much as you can. Try to live civilly, I guess.
That's not too hard. Most people here, I mean, because when you look around, like it's a lot of tent and ground. I don't see much, in the way like it looks pretty clean, right? If that's a word.
Yeah. Everybody tries to maintain their area at least, a little bit. But like I said, we do have a couple of slops here, but it's okay. We can take care of that. Here I am at 65 years old and I'm homeless. Always had a home up to since my son passed away. And end up out here not knowing what to expect, what not to expect. You have to learn real quick, or else you won't survive. I have a daughter and a son left. The reason I'm out here is because my son passed away. My oldest one I used to take care of. He was sick, and without that income that I was getting, well, I ended up homeless. But I had a 3-bedroom house and front yard, backyard, avocado tree, lemon tree. I had everything real nice there. Like I said, things happen and things unexpected, and you end up where you're at. Yeah. I say they're pretty good people, all of them. We may have one or two that are, but we can get along okay, I guess. And then we have help from the community. A lot of times they come over here, they bring them food and clothing sometimes, and so we get by with quite a bit of help from certain people.
I like the clock too. Does it work? It looks like it's working.
It needs a battery.
That's cute.
But yeah, it's got the spoons, the forks, and everything on it. Oh.
This camera will be shorter. There.
I keep everything as clean as possible, but with the dirt and everything, you just do so much. But this is a cooking area for us right here.
Not bad. And how many folks share in the kitchen?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very cool.
This is ours right here. Everybody has their own little makeshift kitchen. This is home. Home kitchen.
As best as you can make it.
Yeah.
Are you able to cook in here?
Yeah, actually I have another little stove right there. I use another one that I have put away. And that of course comes in handy because it's warm at night. It gets cold, so I have a firewood.
Right? Yeah, the milk will stay that way, huh?
Huh?
So the milk will stay?
Well, that's already done with. I gotta toss it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's a bad thing. We end up losing a lot of food because, we don't have a place to keep it.
Perishables.
Yeah.
We end up having to throw a lot of stuff away, which isn't good, but do what you have to do. Each tent has maybe about, at the least 2. Okay, so from that to about 4 people. Each tent.
How you been, Jerry?
Pretty good, Liz. How are you?
Right on, hanging in there?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, this is my friend Chewy.
Chewy. Chewy.
Can we be alright to video it too? Basically, you're just gonna ask some questions. What's it like, and you say.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to bring more awareness,
To the homeless situation?
Yeah, because right now, I mean, the way that the city's just been responding the last few months, few years, has not really been appropriate. It's gotten worse since COVID. Instead of taking care of, its residents more, it's not. So
It's kind of just like delegating or relegating resources as it's needed. And really, if they just, promoted the resources as they should just regulate them, I guess you could say, then people out here would probably have a better advantage at consistently bettering themselves and having those resources to do so.
job,
If I
man.
record?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, see, you're on top of it.
Yeah.
What was your name again? I'm sorry.
My name is Jerry. I'm a resident of Sherwood Park. And I guess I'll tell you guys a little bit about my story today. What would you guys like to know?
Just how long have you been here, and just tell us a little bit about your situation.
All right. So I've been out here for approximately almost 2 years now. Everyone has a reason why they end up out here and everything, but my reasons, nothing special. It's not an excuse, and I understand that. My personal issues should have remained personal, but at the end of the day, here I am. And that being said, everyone falls down once in a while, but it'd be really appreciated if the citizens of Salinas could, help us, really help us get back up and everything, because it's really hard for us to do that if we don't have the necessary resources and programs that, the city is responsible for providing to those who don't have a home. If they could just go ahead and do that. And I believe this gentleman, Wes, he has a very strong campaign to help those in need. So if you've ever been anyone in need, or anyone, if you're ever anyone who's in needing of services right now, please vote for this gentleman, because he's doing his best to help us out as he can.
I mean, how do you feel about the city's response in the last 2 years that you've been out here?
That's 2 years that I've been out here. The response it's been moderate to mediocre. At times, the services were very appreciated, where otherwise they would have gone things would have gone unchanged. But I believe that was more due to a response to COVID, more so than a response to the need for assistance out here in the streets. So all in all, I honestly don't think that the response has been appropriate, and that honestly there should be more available options to the public who are out here, so that we can get our help and we can get the hell up out of here. Not all of us want to be here. I guarantee you, most of the people out here, you don't want to be here. So if you citizens of Salinas find it that you don't like having people in your park, then help us out for the right people and help get us out of here, instead of just making or complaining about a problem and not doing anything to change it.
And from your experience, I mean, what kind of services would be good to have for folks out here?
Services. One thing that is absolutely essential that we just got recently were the lunches. Lunches out here at the Sherwood Park. That was a very exceptional thing that the city did. I'll give credit where credit is due. We appreciated that a lot. That was a necessity, and the restroom services were also a necessity as well. But beyond that, I believe that we should be able to have a better structured housing program, and much better structured, kind of like almost like a job fair or gateway to services for a job, I guess you could say. Because a lot of people out here, they're not lazy. People want to believe that it's up to them, but at the end of the day, I see these people every day, day in and day out, and I know for a damn well good fact that they are not lazy people. They're some of the hardest working people you ever done met, and we want to get up out of here too.
Wes was doing the math. He says that CDC guideline says, for every 10 people, 1 toilet. He thinks there's like 70 people around here, so that means there should be at least 7 or 8 toilets. You have 1. What kind of message do you think that sends to you?
It tells me that that we're at the bottom of the city's priority list, and essentially that like it would be like the same as if you went to your neighbor's house and they only served you 6 plates of a dinner, and there was 7 people and you were the last guest to enter in. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you guys are offering me this other plate, but now someone else is someone else is going without, or someone else is struggling to get what they need done, whatever that might be. So it's absolutely not okay, and we feel that sometimes, and it kind of hurts to know that a whole city with residents and people that we trust, to make the best decisions we can for us, that they can for us. Kind of sucks to know that they don't really care as much as they claim to, because otherwise it would show through their actions.
Anything else you want to add?
Honestly, just honestly, the people of Sherwood Park are some of the best people you will ever meet. They're the most helpful, reliable, and good-hearted, strong people that I've ever met. And over the time I've been out here, they're like family to me. So I'd really like it if all the people listening to this would please help me and my family get out of this situation. Thank you.
What is the magazine?
It's out there from where is it? Sacramento. So yeah, so it's
Statewide.
one of our friends. She started it up, and so we're collecting stories.
I want you to meet my friend Chewy. This is sick. And he does a bike shop right here, man.
No way.
Yeah, well, that's the
yeah.
idea behind it. Okay. That's the idea behind it. What I would like to do is open up a warehouse and turn it into an after-school program. Give the youth something to do besides sit around playing first-person shooting video games and whipping each other's asses joining gangs. That's what happens when you cut all their library hours, rec center leagues, and build low-income housing on all the farmland. That's what happens. You know what I mean? You're setting yourself up for a big dirty Fresno, like before. My dad used to say Fresno used to be beautiful before everybody. You know, you got second, third, fourth, fifth generation farmers selling out their farmland. You know, 'cause they don't want to farm. They don't give a damn. They just want the money. Yep.
So, tell them about your newspaper thing.
Yeah, so we're basically, we're collecting stories, homeless folks, that, we want to raise awareness, especially because, the last couple of years, especially since COVID, it's been tough, and the city, I don't think, has been responding in the best way possible. And so I think the more awareness we bring of the situation, the more support that we'll get to bring more services to folks,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're wondering if I could just ask you a couple of questions.
What's the general gist of the array of questions, if you don't mind me asking, just so I can
Something one is like, what's your experience like out here? Just tell me a little bit about yourself. You mentioned a lot right now when you came out, the Fresno history. One of the things that we're always talking about is, why does the police always get so much money? Like, use that money for rec centers, for parks.
See, but they took that money, they took that funding to hire more officers.
More officers, right?
You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of salaries and major medicals and all that. Well, you wouldn't have to have so many police if you would give the kids something else to do. That's like the parents not wanting to admit that the drug problem is not something an adult rehabilitation program's ever really going to cure, because everybody does drugs starting as a kid, but no, all the parents want to mask that. That's why I went to after-school program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we'll mask it then. If everybody wants to sugarcoat it and just not call it what it is, then it doesn't have to be that. It would be an after-school program. And to turn it from just a bike shop, I want to open up a warehouse. I got a wide array of skill sets and knowledge I picked up. So any type of draw, paint, sculpt, all that kind of stuff. Like music production equipment, repair. I'm an electronics repair technician by trade. The carpentry, all that. So I want to break it all down into sections and bring, you know what I mean? That'd be dope, I think. Right here, because it's better than the heck they're doing. When we're doing the 100 bikes for 100 kids, we got this little group of kids that stopped stealing bikes, basically, in the neighborhood. They came by and they realized, like, we're stealing these bikes, and really they don't have to. They could just come here. And by next month, I'm going to start for anybody in the community, anybody out here that rides bikes, anybody, 24 hours, I'll have my business cards ready by next month. 24 hours a day on call. I'm not charging nobody nothing. If somebody can bless me, that's cool. If not, I'm just there to fix the bike or give them a loaner, take their bike back and fix the bike. But it'll be 24 hours. I can get anywhere in Salinas in 20 minutes. There's gonna be a lot of good that you can put in your. There's a lot of business, a lot. I'm tired of bad news coming out of Sherwood Park. I used to pee in the pool right here. You know what I mean? When I was a little kid, I grew up right here, Pocono Road Street. It was a block and a half that way. I don't want to watch my neighborhood deteriorate into anything, you know what I mean? Less than great. It was great growing up.
No, that's beautiful, man. Yeah. So, man, I just want to capture and more than anything, celebrate your story,
Yeah.
And what could life have been if you had all the opportunities that fucking kids in Monterey had,
Yeah.
So.
You might want to get a picture of that.
Yeah.
Luckily, lately the city has not been taking markers.
Markers?
Well, I mean these memorials.
They're taking them out.
They typically do every time, with a grin on their face and a mad cackle.